What's up, YouTube? It's me, the Migraine Guy, doing another video in the medication series here. We're going to be talking about Triptans today. The Triptan I have experience with is Maxalt, but there are six other Triptans. They all work roughly the same. They work on the same principles, the same biological principles, and so everything I say about Maxalt should translate to your Triptan of choice. Sipping some White Monster right here. I don't know if they want to sponsor the Migraine Guy or not, but if they do, they could. All right, so triptans. What are we talking about here? Well, they're part of a family of medications known as serotonin receptor agonists, which is a fancy three-word name for a medication that blocks receptors, neurotransmitters, from being absorbed and produces a biological response. So for triptans, they're going to block serotonin, and the biological response will be a constriction of blood vessels, specifically the blood vessels in your brain, because there's an interesting correlation between blood vessel dilation or expansion and then the onset of a migraine. So if you can constrict the blood vessels back, the idea is that the migraine will at least lessen, if not go away. And a lot of people have success. A lot of people who get infrequent migraines, like my doctor, he gets, a migraine or two, he says a year, and it's typically when he's been outside for a day or two or something. If he goes hiking or camping or something like that, he said he usually gets one. So Maxalt's a great option for him because Maxalt's designed for infrequent use. That's kind of a key point that I think everyone should know is that Maxalt is not an everyday thing. Like the video I did on amitriptyline, that's a preventative medication you're supposed to take daily because it builds up in your system, stays in your system, and helps to, or hopefully helps to lessen the frequency of migraines. Triptans, on the other hand, are meant to be taken infrequently, partially, if not largely, because frequent use of a triptan, despite potential issues that it could have with your vascular constriction becoming a problem long term. One of the bigger issues, the more frequent issues, is that you actually become mildly addicted to it. Not addicted like you're going to go, on the streets turning tricks because you need to make a buck for some Maxalt. It's more along the lines of that your body will become used to it rapidly, and then when you don't have a migraine, so you don't take it, lack of it in your system will generate a really intense withdrawal style headache. And so, you're stuck in a cycle. Then you take the Maxalt frequently because of your frequent migraines. And then when you don't have a migraine, you get a really crappy headache because you're not taking the Maxalt. So that needs to be something that's emphasized, is that it's for infrequent use. If I were to take it at noon today and it didn't do much in 2 hours, I'm allowed, per the box description, to take another one 2 hours after, and that's it for a 24-hour cycle. And then how many times you're allowed to take it in a week slightly varies, but it's roughly like 3 to 4 times a week, assuming that, let's say, you did 2 in one day. But I think 3 is the recommended maximum throughout the week. So if you get 4 to 5 migraines that are, in that really intense range, this isn't going to help a whole lot. I like to keep it as in case of emergency, right? If I have a migraine that's hitting 8 and it just is overwhelming, I'll pop one because it'll kick it down it'll at least prevent it from going 9 or 10. And then additionally, it may kick it back to a 6 or a 7. And so that's kind of what victory looks like with triptans, is that they're not going to, erase the migraine, but they will prevent the progress, will prevent it from progressing higher, and maybe kick it back a few notches so you can do some things throughout the day. That being said, they do make me insanely dizzy, so it does have to be a really, really dramatic migraine, a really intense one for me to feel that the use is justified. The dizziness is so intense that I wouldn't even drive after taking Maxalt. So, it does have those drawbacks too. But sometimes when you're in a lot of pain, you just got to do what works. Anyway, that's it for Maxalt today. Obviously, this was quick. I'll have a whole lot of links in the description below so you can do some more research on your own. Push the thumbs up if you like the video. Hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time, YouTube.